everybody, welcome to Doll Yokai. I am KITSUNEHORURI, and today we are starting on our next project. Because it is still winter, I wanted to keep that snowball rolling, so to speak. So, I went into the store, was trying to think of a project, and I found this lovely lady right here in the dollar store. This is a Rainbow High, it's a discount doll called Gabriella Isley. As you can see, there's no extras or anything like that with her. She comes in a simpler box. It says here she's a fashion technology focus, so they still kept with that on the side of the box. But yeah, there's really nothing else on here with her. It says let your true colors shine on the box, and it's still got the iridescent coloring. Let's go ahead and take her out. I'll show you what I'm going to be working with, and then I'll share with you what my idea is going to be. This is going to be my first Rainbow High doll that I've worked on, only because the other dolls, the amount that you pay for them, I didn't want to alter any of them. But, oh dear, she doesn't come out. But this one, it's a discount model. You see this more often in the dollar stores nowadays. It used to be you just got a knockoff. Now the actual brand creates a toy that has fewer features and releases at a cheaper cost. Which I like that idea. It would have been nice when I was a kid, instead of, getting a funky fake pony that, has wonky eyes or whatever. Alright, so again, I do have to say, they need to take into account who is opening these packages. Especially if you're going for a discount doll, you're probably buying it for the younger child who's interested, but you don't really want to commit to the really expensive doll yet, maybe. Too much packaging. There's a lot of plastic, a lot of cardboard, a lot of little things stuck into their heads and everything else. Reduce it a little. They'll stay in there, trust me. Just reduce it a little. So here's what we have. And I kind of like her hair color and everything. I'm wanting to make use of her looks, but not entirely. Now her makeup is not bad. Don't feel any product in her hair, but her hair does feel a little cheaper than a normal Rainbow High doll. And if you look back here, she's got some real thin spots. So I will probably be addressing that. Okay, there is a little bit of product in her hair, so I'll have to wash her hair out. Her ears are pierced, but she does not have any earrings in there. Very nice eyes. They're very sparkly. Love the collar. Love the eyelashes. I might want to upgrade her makeup some. I'll decide as I go. She is articulated at the head, so it is a little stiff. At the shoulders, up and down and out to the sides. The hip, up, forward and back and out, but nowhere else. So she only has a 5-point articulation. Well, the normal Rainbow High dolls, the elbows, wrists, knees, they'll be articulated as well. Makeup is pretty good. No pixelation. No smudges. Her outfit is real fabric. Looks like it's 2 separate pieces. Velcro closure in the back. There. And there's a crotch catch on the skirt so it doesn't ride up. Painted on panties. Her sleeveless knit sweater is also Velcro Gee, her hair is so much in my way. Okay, let's hang her upside down. Velcro in the back. She has a pair of high heels with the two R's painted in, but none of the other details are painted. I sort of like the heels. I don't know. I might do something different. I'm definitely making her a different outfit. And I'm going to turn this lovely lady into an ice or winter fairy, I think. So, fill in this hair a little bit. Maybe change some of her makeup. Definitely a whole new outfit. We'll think about the shoes because I haven't done them yet. So, stick around and we'll show you where I'm going to take this. I'll be right back. So the first thing I'm going to want to do with her, looks like we have some flaws. Remove her clothes. Very carefully remove her makeup because I don't want to try and remove her eyes. While it's easier to do it that way, I just don't want to mess with it. It's a little harder to do with this kind of doll than some of the others I use. I'm not really up to that yet. But let's get that done. I'm going to wash out her hair because I think maybe I can work with it. And if not, then I will probably find something like maybe some white or something silver to fill her in with. Because she does seem to have some little streaks of white in there. So I can work up on that. And once I get her all cleaned up, I'm going to give her a quick clear coat spray. And we can get started making, I think I'm going to start with making her outfit. So, I will see you shortly once I get her cleaned up. So most of the paint did come off. I still have some down inside of her mouth, but I could not get it down in there for anything. That's okay, because I'm going to be repainting it. She originally had some teeth down in there. She's going to have them again. So, I've still got tape over her eyes to protect them. I'm going to start doing a little bit of facial blushing. I'm using portrait pastels from Artist's Loft. These are a chalk pastel, not oil. You don't want to use an oil pastel for these dolls. She has a couple of coats of satin clear coat on her face to give her a little bit of texture. Now I just need to decide what colors I need. There's some blues and purples there that would be nice, and a gray, and some light flesh tones. So, let me choose a fluffy brush, and we'll do a little shading and shadowing and makeup. Let's see if I can tame her coloring a little bit with a bit of gray. I'm just using makeup brushes here. Use the gray for her shadows. It looks like it might be a little too soft, but let's keep going. Alright, let's give her lips a little bit of color. I do want to pale them a little bit. Do I want her to wear blue or purple lipstick? Maybe. Let's see how that looks. Tighten that up a little bit with the eraser again before we go on to the next layer. This will probably take a few layers of color to really set in well. I'm going to give her a quick spray and then I'll continue on from here. Okay, the powdery, messy stuff is done. Let's free her eyes. Do this very careful. got her paint job done, so I need to restore the shine to her eyes. And I think I can do that with a little bit of UV resin. So let's go ahead and give that a try. With any good luck, it'll make them shiny again and won't ruin them. Here we are at the sewing table for the first time since moving. It's time to make an outfit. Since she is drying and I don't want to risk scratching up her face, we have a stand-in model to help make this outfit. This poor little darling came out of a thrift store and may feature later on, but for right now she's just going to help me out as a mannequin. For the outfit, I have this light gauzy material that's really stretchy, this very satiny white material with a little bit of a sheen, and I've got some scraps of white brocade. Now hopefully my lighting is good here so you can see what I'm doing. And now I've got to figure out what this outfit's going to look like. Let's set these aside. And because of moving, I have lots and lots of moving paper to use to make patterns. Let's set this all out and figure out what do I want this outfit to look like. I've been thinking about a double layer skirt, maybe something with a long gauze and a short shimmer, and maybe use some of that brocade as accent, perhaps for a top. Let's tie this lady's hair up. So, after some doodling, I'm not sure how well you can see this, but after some doodling, I think I have an idea of what I want to do. There's going to be 3 pieces to this outfit. The first piece, which I will darken up so you can see, is going to be an overshirt. Still not certain about the color, but for now I've got it drawn out like it's going to fold over. I may change this, I'm not sure. The second piece is going to be a skirt, which I'm debating. I might pleat it, or I might ruffle it. I'm kind of leaning toward the ruffle, just for the fairy aspect being a little less strict, a little more organic. But underneath all of this, I want there to be like a gauzy undercover, almost like a kimono, to have slightly flared sleeves. Definitely want to do the fold over on the inside. And I think maybe since she's kind of curvy, I might leave it loose and flowy. And it will probably fold over as well. And then that way there'll be room for her legs to move. Okay, so got looking at my material and thinking about it. This material is too soft and will not hold a pleat. So I'm going to go ahead and go with the organic ruffle, which means I won't really be using this pattern, at least with the way I do this. I'm going to basically make, I'm going to try twice the width of the actual measurement of her waist, and I'm going to gather it in with a little bit of elastic so that it will just slide up onto her, and that should give me enough to make it ruffly. So here goes. I have opened up my fabric. This one has no stretch, which in this case is good. I've got it laid out as a single layer. And her width, which I did measure before, but let's do it again, right around the widest part of her hip, is just shy of 6 inches. And the waist where I want it to sit, just a little above that, just shy of 5 inches. So to give her seam allowance, I'm going to make this 10 inches in length, like I said, double her actual measurement. Watch out for these little bits of ruin over here, you don't want those. And I take out my ancient piece of blue marking chalk. That 10 inches should give me enough for seam allowance as well. I want her skirt to maybe be mid-thigh, so from the point where I measured for it to rest to her knee is 3 inches, so let's do 2.5, which with seam allowance would still be 3. Mark it there. And there. And let's trim this out. Please note, paper scissors, fabric scissors are to be kept separate. Paper will chew up your edge. This is a fraying fabric, so I'm going to have to make sure that I finish the edge really nicely. And since I don't use fray check, that means I'm going to be doing some hand stitching on that. So I will be back after I get this put together. So I thought better on what I was doing, wouldn't you know? To make her shirt and her skirt match better, I think I'll make a trim with the brocade, and that will take care of my fraying issue as well. So basically I'm going to do is take a strip of this, I'm going to fold it over, and I'm going to add it to the edge so that it doesn't fray anymore. So let me get that on there. I'll be right back. Now the elastic, it's a nice thin piece I'm using here, should just be long enough to go around her waist where I want it to rest without stretching, with enough of an overlap to stitch it together. I'm going to stretch the elastic to the full width of the material, stitch it on, and then let it draw up, and that will cause our gathers. Now I fold it over and stitch down with the waistband. Remembering to keep that stretch pulled so that it still gathers. By the way, if anybody wonders, it's probably the best doll brush I have ever laid hands on. You can see it's got actual metal with rubber tips. And yeah, you still lose hair, but not nearly as much, and it gets some good combing done without bending. I got this in a little doll shop in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee. It's right there on the main strip. For the life of me, I can't remember what the name of the doll shop is. But, should you be in Pigeon Forge, just keep an eye off the side of the road, right there in the middle of everything near Dollywood and all of that. And yeah, you see little doll shops, pop in there. Most of the stuff they have is made to fit like American Girl type dolls, but then you have things like this, which are good for any doll you've got. Really great for doll hair. As you can see, it does a pretty good job on it. And on that subject of the doll hair, this is after I have washed it. I just did a hot water wash with a little bit of hand soap. I didn't use conditioner or anything like that because it is definitely a plastic-based artificial hair. So it'd be neither here nor there. It won't absorb any of that. But it filled in really nicely. And you can, well, I don't know if you can see it on this camera, but it makes the white stripes and highlights visible in it. I, however, don't find that to be enough. Her hair's the right color. It's not too bad, but I want it to have a little bit of a tinsel sparkle. So, I have this metallic thread, which has been hanging around since the beginning of time. It actually has tinsel in it. And I think I might add a couple of strands to her hair just for the sake of decoration. And how I'm going to do that is I'm going to take some strands and my rerooting tool, and I'm just going to root a couple of pieces in there just for fun. So I'll get that set up and we'll get started next. I do have a doll hair rerooting video on this channel. It's not very far back because there aren't very many videos yet, but go ahead and check that one out, and it shows the whole process. Now for her, I think I want to do a streak. I think I'm going to bring it right down this side here. I just take it, push it right on in, and there we have it. Alright, this should be enough, and because I cannot access the inside of her head for the glue, because I have not removed her head and I haven't removed her eyes, I'm just going to add a tiny dot right here at the base and leave it at that. Didn't really do what I'd hoped it to. And now I need to fix this. Okay. That experiment failed. I was hoping to make little icicles, but clearly it did not have the intention of staying in position I put it in. Let's go ahead and harden this up the rest of the way so I can get it off there. Okay, so the resin was not about to lay in the icicle shapes I was hoping for. So, I'm going to trim this out. I'm going to cut this edge all the way around jagged, and then I'm going to add glitter and hopefully get an icy kind of look to it that way. I really wish that had worked, but you win some, you lose some. So one moment while clearing this up, and we can get out the glue and get to work on that. I am giving this a try. Sorry I didn't record that because I really wasn't sure what would happen. I'm still not really sure, but you can see what I've done is I've gone along and I've used hot glue this time and added glitter. It's looking a little bit more like where I want it to go. And the nice thing about hot glue is I can cut it if I have to. So I'm going to let this cool off, and then I'm going to peel it off, and I'm going to flip it over and do a little bit on the other side because the front will, of course, show some of that. Let's work on her hair for a minute. Set kind of like a crown. Well, I did get her done, and while she's not perfect, I'd say she's not bad either. I had a few issues, worked out some of the stuff, some of the things I did not, but still learning. Even though I have some skills, one can always gain more. So here is my winter ice fairy, snow fairy. I'm not really certain. So what should I name this one? Just leave your ideas below in the comments, and we'll see what her name comes out to be. And guys, thank you very much for joining me. This has probably been the most... Is this the most complicated one? Yeah, this is the most complicated one so far. They are going to get more complicated. And hopefully by the time I get to the ones I have in mind, I'll be doing just a tiny bit better with some of these things I've tried. Sometimes your experiments fail. Sometimes you have to go a different route, but that's no reason to stop and give up on a project. So, if you like what you saw, please like, subscribe, and share. Don't forget to visit my other channel, KITSUNEHORURI, where I do some blind bag, blind box openings, testing products, that sort of thing. Toy reviews. It is mostly toy and doll related as well. Sometimes I go on adventures or share some of the projects that I've been doing there as well. But anyway, guys, thank you so very much. Don't forget I have a Patreon and an Etsy, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.